It's official. It's confirmed. WrestleMania 43 is now in Saudi Arabia. That is where we're going for WrestleMania 43. Not we. We ain't
I'm
going.
not going.
We ain't going. But I'm saying that's where we're headed. As fans of WWE, it is the first WrestleMania outside of North America. That is not Canada or the United States. And this saddens me. This was something I considered an American tradition. Mm-hmm. This was one thing we as Americans had that like we could hold on to and say WrestleMania is ours. You could have the Night of Champions. You could have the No Mercies. You could have the Royal Rumble. But WrestleMania was meant to be ours. There was even a piece of me, Lauren, that thought, man, we'll lend it out to London. London could have one. That'd be a fun place to go for WrestleMania. Maybe even a Tokyo. I mean, if we're just keeping it to North America, why not Mexico City?
Yeah.
But we're going to Saudi Arabia. And why? Why, you ask, Lauren? It's money. It's an absurd. I've heard reports. It's upwards of $100 million that's being paid to WWE to host WrestleMania there. And I think WWE did everything in its power to sell Saudi Arabia on the idea that you don't need WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. We could create a second event, but they bullied the WWE and they bullied TKO. And ultimately, they got what they want. Now, WWE is going to market this as this is global expansion.
Yeah.
But as fans, we're not fucking stupid. This is the ultimate, the final domino falling in what the IWC has been saying for a long time. WWE's a cash grab. That's what it is now. There is zero loyalty to fans. There is zero loyalty to creativity, to storyline, to the wrestlers. It just, to me, it is the ultimate. It is the final straw. I've seen a lot of people saying they're done. I don't blame you if you're done with WWE at this point, because this is the point where they drew a line in the sand and they finally, TKO finally said, this is about money, you guys. This is not about creating a product anymore that is consumable. This is literally, you guys are sheep, and whoever bids the most money, that's where we go. And I've seen the people who try to play devil's advocate that ask the question, well, is there any amount of money that makes, that you just can't say no to? Sure. I mean, $100 million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But the problem is you lose a lot of that loyal fan base every time you make a decision. And this won't be the decision that ultimately hurts them, but it can be a series of bad decisions that opens a door. Don't get me wrong. WWE will never disappear. But you can begin to open the door for a Tony Khan who, through a few strategic business moves, can gain some market share. Now, let me tell you what scares me about Saudi Arabia. More than just, I hate the idea of losing a tradition, but here's the problem with Saudi Arabia, okay? It is the atmosphere shift for WWE. I don't drink, right? Mm-hmm. But when we've been to WrestleManias, it is a bar crawl for wrestling fans. There's no alcohol in Saudi Arabia.
Well, the first thing that popped in my head was like, how many people who are not from there or in that area are actually going to be able to get in or get tickets?
So we're going to get there. We're going to get to that. Right now, I want to touch on the atmosphere, the no bars, no beer gardens, no tailgating.
Yeah.
The vibe is going to be different.
Agreed.
The vibe's going to be very different. Here's another thing, okay?
Okay.
Saudi Arabia doesn't allow same-sex couples. There is a very big contingency of LGBT that are fans of WWE. And so can they safely attend this event? Or is WWE now, you're segmenting an audience of who can and can't come?
Yeah.
WrestleMania has always been a global event that people travel to. My fear is, like you said, I think this is strictly a Saudi Arabia event for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Dress codes, right?
That literally was my next thing.
Cleavage is not allowed. Shoulders are not supposed to be shown. Women cannot wear shorts, crop tops. It's all off limits.
Yeah.
That's it. That, to me, that's wild.
Well,
if you get a bunch of people getting arrested.
What is the crown jewel or whatever they do over there, right? when you look in the crowd,
It's all men.
exactly.
It's all men. We're gonna get there. We'll get there. But my point is that's not what WrestleMania is supposed to be. That's why I said you can have Crown Jewel, right? Because we knew we're not gonna travel for that. Nobody's gonna go see that. That's their event. They can have that one.
Yeah.
Right. Here's what I have written down. Right. It's mostly men. It's mostly men. And when you go to WrestleMania, there's a lot of women. There's a lot of families. There's a lot of cosplay, right? There's a lot of crazy and weirdness that goes on around a WrestleMania. And I'm interested to see how this is portrayed when it comes time to start selling tickets for this event, right? Because, you start to drum up. They're about to go, tickets for Las Vegas are about to go on sale. And they go on sale through Ticketmaster, and they drum up this. What are they going to do when it comes time to sell? Are they going to push this like a global event?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be first off, like you said, Saudi shows are dominated by like Saudi VIPs. If you look at the floor, it is all of the wealthiest Saudi people. So are those tickets just not going to be available? You know what I mean? Like, you have the WWE Priority Pass and all those things. So are regular fans just not going to be allowed to access those tickets, right?
Yeah.
Because surely there's going to be bias. If they're paying $100 million for this event, they're going to get first crack at every ticket they want in that building. So once again, this is fucking insane.
Yeah.
You have a global event that is going to be, I don't even think, like, I know this is a weird thing to say, but like, I don't think they use Ticketmaster. They have like their own ticketing company, and how fair is that going to be?
True. And the other thing that like pops in my head, you talked about like the culture and atmosphere and stuff like that. Are they going to have to like release something that says like these things are not acceptable? Like a warning, when we go to Las Vegas, right? For example, you go and you have fun, and there's there's like basic rules, but there's no like strict rules on certain things. Like, I could be making this up, but I think like you can't spit on the sidewalk, you'll like get in trouble, or like
sure, but I think
things
that's
like that.
A lot of places.
Well, it's true, but still, like
I'm with you on like. So let's just talk about merch, right? So I think if you have any like Liv Morgan merch that has her on it and her stomach showing, that's not going to be okay, right?
Yeah.
Anything that shows her provocatively, because and let's just talk about. I mean, we'll get there in a second, but the fact that the women wrestlers can't be happy that WrestleMania is going to be where they have to be dressed in the head to toe fucking spandex suits.
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be your big moment. This is like the pageantry and all that stuff. And you have to do all this stuff. I just think here's the problem, WWE, that the floor is not going to be covered in the diehard fans that you're used to. And you're not going to have all the signs, the costumes. It's going to be these Saudi elites controlling this. And while, like I said, it's fine for a crown jewel, it scares the shit out of me that this is what WrestleMania. Now WrestleMania is open to the highest bidder, And so, like we said, do female fans get scrutiny at the airports, at the hotels, at the venues? Are they told what they can and can't wear? That to me, it opens a can of worms. I don't think they're going to try to open this up to people.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be now I know UFC has pulled this off, but I think the UFC audience is very different than the WWE audience when it comes to how they attend shows. The other problem I have is there's already the whispers, and we've known this for years. That is the creative control speculation that comes along with writing $100 million check, right? We've already had past Saudi shows where they want Goldberg, they get Goldberg. They want this guy, they get this guy. We're already hearing that they want Stone Cold, they want The Rock, they want all of these old guys, first off, is who they want, because their fandom is based on like the biggest superstars of the event. I don't know how comfortable I am with Saudi Arabia dictating the creative of the biggest wrestling event of the year. Like I said, when it's Crown Jewel, it's so different. It is, okay, we know what this is going to be. It's going to be a Goldberg or a Brock Lesnar or one of these, but to now look at WrestleMania and go, this is not going to be booked off the storylines. This is not going to be booked off merit. This is going to be booked off what Saudi Arabia wants to see. And even if WWE tries to deny this, which they will, right? They will try to say they have no influence. The minute that you start seeing the rumblings, and they're going to try and sell us on, here's what's going to be. Saudi Arabia is going to offer The Rock $1 billion, right? $1 bajillion to come back and fight either Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, or both of them. And WWE will bend the knee and try to figure out how to make that work. But creatively, to me, it's a little bit gross.
Yeah.
That, like, that's how we're going to get to WrestleMania that year. That's weird. No other city has ever had that level of power.
Well, even the storylines, like, leading up to it have to be kind of weird and different, or, like, just fall off and not matter at all. And we'll pretend like that didn't happen.
Or they're going to build an entire year around this, is what scares me.
Oh, yeah.
Is that they go, all right, we're going to build the entire year off the idea that they're going to pay for this. And if they change their minds, if they decide, if we end up with a card that's like Shawn Michaels, fucking Stone Cold, Undertaker, right? Because they're just handing, you get $1 million, and you get $1 million, and you get $1 million. And we end up with a card that is almost unrecognizable of younger talent. To me, that's a problem. That becomes a problem. Saudi Arabia is heavily about restriction, control, and image management. This is sports washing. People don't understand. Like, Saudi Arabia uses these big events to try to make the rest of the world look at them, even though there is some weird things that go on in Saudi Arabia. I don't care if people, that's offensive. You can't say that. Yeah, no. Like, it's true. It's just the truth. Mm-hmm. The fact that there are these weird laws and the same-sex marriage things and things like that, to me, that's weird. So, we'll see what happens.
Look, I watch 90 Day Fiancé, and there's this one girl who literally, like, marries somebody from over there. She has done a complete 180, and, like, the way she talks, what she wears, all that stuff. So, like, as an American woman, like, I couldn't imagine.
But that's to live there.
Yeah.
Right? She wants to live there. We're talking about people who are just going to be traveling in for an event. They don't want to live there. Nobody.
I wouldn't know what to expect. And so, like, where's the rule book?
There's zero chance I would go.
I wouldn't
no
go.
matter if I had unlimited funds, I would skip that WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. I'd go to London if I had the funds. I'd go to Tokyo if I had the funds.
What's the time difference, Italy, too? I'm not.
So that's the other thing. It's going to be, it'll be a weirdly timed show. WrestleMania will probably, for us, be either super early in the morning, or they'll do that weird thing where they space it to make it like middle of the afternoon.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens when the unstoppable force of WrestleMania meets the immovable object, which is the Saudi Arabian culture.
All right.
All right, Lauren, let's get into a few headlines on what is worth watching out for right now. Mm-hmm.